how did it all get started, and what's the backstory behind the story of Myö Hostel?
Well, I think everything started like 12 years ago when we first met. We were studying in Jyväskylä together, and then we
we became friends very quickly.
Yeah, we started to travel together.
Yeah,
and
we did that a lot.
Yeah. And every time we went abroad, we always stayed in hostels, and we had that little game. We were thinking that if this would be our hostel, how it would be, like what things we would change and what things we would keep like the same. And we never really thought that we really would have a hostel, but it was like a really nice game to think.
Like an ongoing inside joke or something like that. Yeah.
But so the inside joke became a real
Yeah,
thing.
it did. At some point, we realized, first of all, that there weren't enough hostels in Helsinki, like quality ones, and actually that applies to whole Finland. I think we're a little bit behind with the whole hostel culture that is
it's very strong in Europe, and in many European countries they have really cool boutique hostels, and we have few in Finland, but not so many.
Like a few great ones, but we're still kind of like building the whole hostel scene here in Finland.
Okay.
And so that's why we realized that there is actually people need good hostels here in Helsinki and here in Finland. And but I think the turning point was when we got the idea that we actually could do something, we could impact the society with our work. Because what we were studying like social studies, and we were working with disabled people. And we came across this huge problem, at least in Finland, but I think that it's the same thing pretty much everywhere in the world, that people with disabilities, they cannot get jobs, and if they have a job, they don't get paid for that, and we thought that was very unfair. And then we suddenly came up with this idea that we could actually open up a hostel that provides not only quality accommodation but also real jobs for people with disabilities.
That's very exciting. While we are waiting for the more of the audience coming in, if you have a Myö Hostel page, you want to share this broadcast with your friends?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, if you have you can do
let's
that
do
while
that.
we are waiting here.
Yeah. This is how it is nowadays. In the middle of an interview, we're doing social media.
That's right. You do that.
Yes.
Shamelessly.
Exactly. Here, share, and
you should see our broadcast while we are.
yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Come join us.
Yes. Come and join the fun.
Yeah.
Very good.
So now it's there.
Excellent. So I'm actually touched very much about your whole approach to this, the taking care of the people who are in a social situation where they're not getting a job, and if they're getting a job, they're not getting paid for it.
Yeah.
So what is your approach to this? I mean, some people say, well, how can I take responsibility? How about my customers? What do they think? All those negative thoughts. How do you overcome that kind of thinking? Why should you not hire someone with who is maybe has the right attitude, but
So that's a good question. I think we haven't had that much negative feedback about this part of our project. Overall, not very much negative feedback. People seem to like us, which we're happy about. But when we got the idea and we were first talking about it to people, when this whole thing was just a dream still, we heard some comments like what would people think, and do you think that they will be comfortable with meeting people with disabilities when going to a hostel or a hotel? And that, I have to be honest, that question never even entered our minds, because we thought that why would it be a problem to anyone? But we heard some concerns about that, but I have to say that none of that became reality.
No, we have had only positive feedback.
Yeah, and
that's very excellent.
we have a lot of like a lot of customers that come to our place specifically because we are doing also this.
Yeah,
I think
they
that's
want
true.
to support
Yeah.
our
Yes.
idea, and
Uh,
they think it's really good that we are
Yeah.
doing this.
Yeah, and it's very fulfilling for the people who are working themselves. They are this is lifting their self-awareness and self-motivation and
Yeah, of
yeah,
course.
and
I mean,
pride.
like, yeah, for every one of us, I think
Yeah.
it's we value our jobs and
Yeah.
we value the fact that we get paid for our job.
yes.
Yeah, and
Okay, so you had this idea. You met in Jyväskylä. You studied together. You became great friends. You traveled together, and now you are also finding out that maybe there are some great hostels where you stayed in, but there's definitely a need in Helsinki. So let's go into sort of what kind of hostel is this? What makes this unique? It's called in hotel lingo unique selling point. What makes this a unique place?
I think there are so many things about us that make us very unique. But of course, one of the most important things is that we really take our social responsibility seriously. And that's something that you still can pretty rarely see in the business world. So I think we're kind of like trying to make a difference there. And that's unique. But also our hostel is just amazing. I mean, it's
Well,
beautiful.
yeah.
It's
The decoration is really great.
yeah, and you can see many pictures of us online, and you're very welcome to come here and see it yourself. But it was very important to us that the whole atmosphere would be very cozy and like colorful and homey and all that. That
We
you
want
don't.
that our guests feel like home
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
they come here, and
Yeah.
we want that they want to spend time here in our common areas.
Yeah, like meeting new people and all that. And we just wanted to make sure that when you come here, it's not like your average visit to a hostel or a hotel. We wanted people to actually remember being here, and like after a couple of years, people remember that Myo Hostel. That sure was an amazing place. You know, remember how it looked like? It was so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was very important to us.
But I also noticed, Maju mentioned the name of the 5th floor is from the place you're from.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us about that, and then also how does it relate to the decoration and so on?
So we have 3 floors here at this time, and each floor has different theme. So we chose different places around Finland. One from central Finland, where I'm from Konnevesi. Our 5th floor is Konnevesi floor. And our 6th floor is from eastern Finland. It's called Keikko. And this ground floor is, this is Helsinki themed, Käpylä, as you can see.
Yeah.
The wallpaper, there is
Yeah.
number 1 tram running there that goes to Käpylä as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the word myö.
It comes from central Finland, where I'm from there, and Jenny and me both have lived there for
Many
very
years,
long
yeah.
time, mainly in Jyväskylä, but I have lived in other places as well. And myö means us in many places in Finland, for example in central Finland. So myö is us.
Because it's a very clever name. It's very popular I notice in Helsinki there are many restaurants that have short words, names with 3 or 4 letters.
Yeah.
And then that you're doing a boutique hostel, and it's called Myö. I thought it was so clever.
Yeah.
Really, really clever.
you.
Consider that you have some. I'm not going to promote any international brands here, but they are long names, and you really know that I'm just going there to sleep, and I'm getting out of there. But then you have a place that is called Us. It's a bigger story than just a name.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We wanted the name to reflect the thing that we're actually doing here. We're doing this together. This is about like our team, our dream, and that's why it's Myö. And also, you might notice that there is the Finnish word yö, which means night in Finnish. Yö, it's hidden in the word, so it's just like M plus yö. Yeah.
So those who's watching from the English-speaking world. Now you had a quick lesson in the Finnish geography and
Exactly.
also, so when you can impress your friends when you ask them what does myö mean, and then then you know these two words.
Yeah,
Very good.
the most two important words.
Very good. Okay, so we have covered a little bit about the philosophy and so on. But who are your customers, and what are the kind of travelers that have been staying here so far? Because you're relatively newly opened. And how did they find you?
Well, I think we have many people that have followed us through this whole journey. It's been it took quite a long time from the day that we got the idea to the day that we actually opened our doors and welcomed our guests in. So that's one thing that we have had so many friends, so many people surrounding us, like supporting us. And once we got the place open, they of course already knew that this fantastic thing is coming to Helsinki, and we cannot wait for that. And since we're doing something pretty different, we've also had some pretty nice media coverage about our place. And I think that's also something that spread the word. And yeah, but if you talk about our average customer, that's something, you always hear that when you open a business, you need to know your average customer. You cannot think that this is for everyone. And I'm not saying that Myö Hostel is for everyone, but I kind of am. Like,
we have so many different kind of people coming here. We have a lot of families, a lot of older people, and also young people.
Yeah.
But we are not like a youth hostel. We
Yes.
have so many kind of
Yeah.
visitors.
Because
there.
many times, like when you think of a hostel, you know that, well, that's a party hostel, for example, or that's for backpackers. And we welcome like backpackers with open arms, but that's not our only customer base.
Yeah.
We want this to be more inclusive for everyone, and we also took good care of, for example, accessibility, that we actually can say that everyone is welcome here and everyone can get in, even if they might be using a wheelchair or something like that.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anything like when you have a new place, things will evolve, and then when your Myö matures more, you will also find your own niche. And now you
Yes.
have a lot of people trying out. And from what I'm reading from the reviews, you're getting great reviews for the key things. Good sleep. You spent quite a bit of money on good beds, and also you
Yes,
have the cleanliness, which is a very, very basic but the most important thing in any way, and that you can get a good sleep. And then you have nice common areas. I mean, this community area where people who have never met before, they can make some new friends over a cup of coffee, we are having a cup of coffee now.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, so you were very rich, so you had all this money, so you could build this yourself,
no.
or how did this?
Oh, no.
Your parents gave you a big check, or how did it work
I
out?
wish.
So tell that
Yeah.
story.
At first, we didn't have any money.
We just had the idea.
And then we started to collect the money.
Yeah,
trying to figure out how we could make this.
Yeah,
possible.
because you need quite a lot of dough to actually do this.
Yeah.
How did you? What was your way of getting the money from a financier or growth funds or crowdfunding or what?
Yes.
Yeah, we had a crowdfunding campaign about 2 years ago, 1.5 year ago in Mesenatti.
Yeah, like a finish.
Yeah, and we sold a lot of kind of products there. For example, T-shirts, tote bags, that kind of things. But also, we pre-sell nights in Myö Hostel, so people could buy
like a gift
rooms.
card. Yeah. And that was that was a big thing for us, because we needed at least some money so we could get the big loan from the bank. Yeah, so that's why we had the whole campaign thing, and it was a success, and we gathered the money that we needed to qualify for a bigger loan. Also, we had many people helping us, and this was something that the whole project was something that got people very excited about the whole thing. And there were so many people that were just like, from the kindness of their hearts, they wanted to take part in this and help us to make this become reality. So that was one thing, but I think the crowdfunding campaign was the one major thing that got us forward with the project.
Very good. Well, the doors are open now, and you have welcoming everyone to stay with you, which is really nice. I'd like to touch a little bit on the digital strategy. It's a very technical word. It simply means your what are your thoughts? I mean, you just recently opened, and what is your aim, and where are you with your digital strategy, and what does success look to you when you have done it according to how you wish to be?
Well, the whole thing, how Hostel works, it's kind of modern and up to date, because we have like sort of a self-service system here in the hostel, but it's not that kind of a self-service thing where you don't actually meet the staff at all and you just are by yourself. What it means for us is that we have automatic systems for those parts of the whole accommodation process that really matters. For example, we have code locks on our doors. So when guests come, they will receive a message that with all the room information and the necessary codes, and it's fully automatic, and then they can just enter the hostel anytime they want. And we are here to help and to chat and to do all kinds of nice things and to clean up the rooms and so on, but we don't have anyone standing behind the reception desk 24/7.
Yeah, I don't see a reception desk, which is a very nice thing, because it means that it's more like a home than there's no barrier between the guest and the staff.
Exactly. We have a tiny desk there, but you wouldn't.
It's not the reception desk. It's info desk.
Yeah,
we call it info desk.
I really want to show Roscoe here, but Roscoe is a very nice dog. We became friends right away.
Really busy there.
He's busy with his toy here.
Yeah, she has a new toy. She just got that today from one of our employees. So
she's so proud of that.
Yes,
carrying it around all the time.
Roscoe,
you want to come for TV? No.
No, so, I'm too busy.
Yeah. What can you do? I mean, you have a good sleep here. What are things to do around this area?
Oh yeah, that's one of our.
Yeah, we should talk about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
so
we have really beautiful nature around us. The biggest park that is actually a forest.
Yeah,
in Helsinki,
giant.
It's just in our back. It starts from our backyard.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of routes. You can walk, and you can, if you have a dog with you, you can take it out there walking around.
Yeah. Is it part of the Central Park? Is this close to the Central Park?
Yeah, that is if you look out the window, you will see the Central Park just right behind the window.
Yeah. So the Central Park of Helsinki, who don't know, you can actually, technically, you can get almost way to the harbor of Helsinki or
to the airport too. It's giant.
Yeah. From the airport, you can go down all the way downtown to the city of Helsinki, and in the winter, you could actually do the skiing. Yeah, all the way through.
There are so many. Yeah, there are hundreds of kilometers of routes to and paths to walk on, and there are so many activities within the park. There are you can do all kinds of sports there. And we are only a few kilometers from the center of Helsinki. Yeah. 4 kilometers or something like that. Yeah. So we're very close. It's even walkable, and we have excellent public transport connections. Yes. But we think that our location is also very unique. I mean, where else in the world you can go and live 4 kilometers from the actual center of the capital city and live next to a forest, like a big forest with berries and mushrooms and everything. Yeah. So it's pretty wonderful, and we get a lot of guests who actually value the nature and the quiet location. We're located inside this what is asuinalue in English?
Like neighborhood, or
exactly.
Like a neighborhood.
Yes, it's a very nice neighborhood, old buildings and cute little yards and everything. So when people come here, they actually also see the lifestyle of Helsinki people.
Yeah. If you look at the video before this, I walked here and I went live, so you can actually see the buildings which are, I think, from the 50s.
Yeah,
From
40s,
Oh, it's from 40s.
40s and 50s,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
They were built, and probably right after the war or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and we're located right next to a hospital, which
Yeah.
is also a very beautiful old building, and they have art gallery there and that sort of thing, and that was built in the 40s, and our building was built right next to it, and it was a house for the nurses and their families that worked in the hospital.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Wow. So we learned so much about Myö Hostel now. We need to. What else do you want to talk about now? We have as much time as you want. If you want to share a funny story, what do you? 3 things you didn't know about opening a hotel, and now you learned.
Okay, 3 things.
Let's do the 3 things.
Okay, we didn't know much about hostels because we haven't never worked in a hostel or
Yeah,
a hotel before.
we had
so
0 experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have only visited hostels
Yeah.
many times, so we
Yeah.
know what it's like to sleep in a hostel.
Yes.
But
Yeah, and we knew what customers value and so
Yeah.
on, but we didn't have any experience. We never took any studies in this area, and so there was a lot to learn. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I think one of the most important lessons that we learned was that we had been very optimistic about the schedules. Like we always thought that when we got the idea, it was it in 2015, like August? Yeah, 2015 August.
almost
Yeah,
3
so
years ago.
yeah, so we were like, okay, so next summer we are going to open up a
Yeah,
hostel.
opening!
Woohoo! And we just like let everyone know that we're doing this, and just wait a few months.
Yeah.
And
they're all
Be a
coming.
hostel
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah, exactly. And then it took 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like there were so many things to consider and to find out and to learn and to study, and like we just couldn't imagine that. Yeah.
But you have already come. If I would come back, which I'll come back more often, but if I come back in 5 years from now, what will Jenny and Maju tell me about Myö? What is the good story going to be like then? Will there be a Myö 2, 3, or 4? Or?
Yes.
Yes.
Aha!
Yes,
Ambition. I
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
I like that.
Yeah, this is not going to be the only Myö hostel.
Yeah,
Okay.
we always call this is our first Myö hostel.
The prototype.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, and we think that this is such a fantastic concept that like people need this everywhere, and we have been talking about like other cities in Finland, but
Okay.
also we have been wondering what it would be like to open up a Myö hostel in maybe some other country like Myö Tallinn or Myö London. You never know what happens.
A hint. This is
Yeah,
a hint. Yeah. By the way, I have to say hello to Johanna Isakila. She's watching. She's a friend of mine. So say hello to Johanna. And Johanna,
Hi,
do you have?
Johanna.
Yeah, hi. Do you have any question? You can write in Finnish. We do it fluently in Finnish also, but we talk in English. If you have any question, have you stayed in a hostel before? Write yes if you have. Well, let's hope.
That's a lot of pressure on Johanna now.
No pressure. She is very, very, very seasoned on
Okay.
social media.
All right.
But that's a great story. I mean, you really are kind of molding this concept for the future success with other. Yeah, I think this is very, very good. And I stayed in hostels in my life, in sleep in, sleep outs, or whatever they were called, and there was nothing like what I've seen. In fact, what we'll try is after this broadcast, I think I'll go live again, and we'll make a little bit of a walkthrough just to show a couple of rooms.
Yeah.
How about? Would you like to see that? Oh, hey, Johanna.
Hey.
So have you stayed in? Where have you stayed in hostels, Johanna? What countries have you been? Like to know. It takes usually a few seconds before if she types, we'll get maybe 15 seconds. I stayed in Germany. I stayed, and I think I stayed in Germany. I've stayed in hostels, and I was part of a group. We were a music group.
Yeah.
Poor musicians, so we played we slept in hostels at that time, and it was more because of the community.
Yeah. You don't have to be poor to stay in a hostel.
No, it wasn't.
I think that's something that
It's a
we're
wrong
also kind of like trying to change.
Yeah.
Well, because people think that you would choose hostel only if you don't have money
No.
for a hotel. but like I can say that even if I weren't here in Mö Hostel, I would choose hostel, and we did choose hostels because they have, many times they have more like character, and
They are usually more unique
yeah,
than like typical.
yeah.
Typical
Like if you
big-
stay in a like big chain hotels, it's very different from the experience that you
Yes.
get in a hostel. You just have to book a good hostel.
Yeah.
The same thing. Don't book a bad hotel.
Exactly.
Yeah, stay in a good hotel.
Now, Johanna is saying, just joined, heard some great reviews about Mö. So Johanna has heard about you.
Oh,
And great reviews also.
Yeah.
So here are the brains behind Mö. You're meeting them live. Jenny and Maju.
Yeah.
Also in OS, that's Aussie, I think. US, UK at least. So Johanna is a well-traveled,
Yeah.
stayed in several hostels.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah.
And there are, in many countries there is actually the whole hostel culture that people like who could afford hotels, they decide to stay in hostels, and once that kind of like gets going, there will be more hostels and even more people will know about that, and that's what we're trying to do here in Finland too. So that people would realize that it's actually a very good choice to go to a hostel. It doesn't mean that it's bad.
No.
It means that it has common areas, different room types. You don't pay extra for the services that you don't need. But for example, like you mentioned, our great beds, we have the same beds here as the top hotels in Helsinki have. And so you don't have to compromise with the things that actually matter. You just make a like wise decision, kind of like.
So the key is that you don't have to compromise on things that really matters, which is the basic of a great bed, clean rooms, good shower, and a nice breakfast in the morning.
Yeah.
And then off you go to walk into the Central Park or venturing around into the city.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and many people just love spending time in our cozy living room and so on. So we provide services that our guests want, but they don't want the golden faucets, you know. They don't want the room service at 4 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah.
So we can keep our prices modest
Yes.
when we just offer the services that people are actually like they want to use.
Yeah. In the public areas, do you have, or here in common areas, do you have any program? I just see a piano against the wall here. What is life like here in the early evening when you have a lot of people? Are they music happening or what?
Yeah, we have guests playing the piano and singing, and we have board games, and we have magazines, and we have DVDs. So they're just
And book swap.
book swap. Yeah,
Books here.
yeah. We really like books, so they're all around the hostel.
Very good. And we have another friend, Albert Picco. Hello, Albert. How are you?
Hi,
Welcome.
Albert.
Hi.
Welcome. Albert, I think is you're from Malta, right? If I'm not mistaken, from Malta. Malta, you said.
Yeah.
If you've been in Malta, you call it Malta.
Oh, really?
Yes.
All right. Didn't know that. Yeah.
We were talking last week about boutique hotels.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Now I
Cool.
need to pick up the phone.
okay.
All right. So
My-
this is what happens.
Yeah, so Maya's leaving us for the moment because of urgent business of people who want to book a place to stay.
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
So very good. So any questions? Johanna says hostels have really changed. No more just the bunk beds share with 20 persons. Actually,
Exactly.
I prefer.
Private. Can I click on that?
Yeah, you can put the see.
Actually, I prefer
Prefer
a private
private
room.
room.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
here. Same
Very
here.
good, yeah.
I have slept in dorm rooms many times, and that's all right too. But especially when I got older and I needed more like even more comfy accommodation, I decided to like stay in the private rooms also. But still, I pick a hostel.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for
very
the
good.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really shows the world has changed from the time when the perception of a hostel has changed so much, and I think you are sort of the front runners in Finland, at least.
One of them.
One of them. I'm sure there are maybe some other, but
There are some great ones,
Okay.
in Finland, but not enough. Yeah, only in some cities.
yeah. Okay, Albert says all the best. I'm the Maltese guy listening and watching you all. The very best. Well, thank you.
Thank you
Albert.
so much.
It's very so. You really need to consider coming to Helsinki, Albert. And the summer is coming, and I know it's too hot in in Malta in the summer, so
Yeah.
you're better off a nice 24 degrees and you know this is a place to stay. And here are Jenny and Maju, who is running a fantastic boutique hostel. Right. So what else we have? We covered the background. Where have you traveled? I think this is people like to know.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
like together.
Yeah.
Well, we have traveled together a lot, but also separately. But places we have visited together, we have been to Central America many times. That's probably our favorite, like of the places that we have traveled together to.
And
Why is that?
We always keep coming back.
Yeah. Well, we just we love the whole atmosphere. Like one of our favorites is Guatemala. And we just we love the people, we love the climate, the nature is amazing. There's so many things to see, the Mayan culture.
And there is so much colors, like all the houses
And
are
the
so
scents,
bright,
Yeah,
colors.
exactly. Yeah,
Just so beautiful.
Guatemala. and then we've been to the Amazon rainforest in Colombia and Brazil and Peru.
Yeah.
And we traveled in Asia a couple of times, I think. Yeah. We went to Laos and Cambodia and Vietnam and Thailand and
only like a month ago we were in Bali. Bali
Okay.
Island, and we spent a few days there, and then we went to Gili Air.
Yeah.
Gili Islands and Gili Air.
Yeah, that was
Very
nice
good.
too.
Really nice.
A couple of years ago, we were in Jamaica, and our first trip together was when we were still studying, and we went abroad to work on our bachelor's thesis together, and we stayed in Prague for a few months. And I think that whole Prague thing started what is like going on right now. After that, we realized that we are very good traveling partners. And since then, we have been traveling, and now we have realized that we're pretty good business partners too. Yeah.
Excellent. Very good. Well, I think we spent about 20 or 25 minutes. I don't know. Time runs when you have fun.
Yeah.
So, Jenny and Maju, thank you very much for joining, and thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for all the live viewers and the replay viewers for joining us here in Mue. And I'm going to close this broadcast, and after that, I'm going to go live again, and we're going to make a short walk to take a look at the rooms so you can see for yourself what they have accomplished. Oh, we didn't mention about you're using recycled material.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah, that one we do too. Like we said, we have the top-notch beds.
Yeah.
And that we really invested on. But other than that, we wanted to be ethical with the sisostus.
Yeah, interior.
Interior too. Yeah. And so we decided that as much as we can, we're going to purchase used furniture. And so every one of our rooms is different, and we have collected furniture from our own homes and our friends' homes and our grandma's attic and
from
flea markets and Facebook flea markets and like all that. And I think it looks pretty nice. It looks way nicer that way than when you actually just buy in bulk, like all new. It's much more personal, you know. Like.
Hi, I'm now here on the floors, and I want to introduce you to Roscoe. He's my new friend who is here at the Mue Hostel, who is looking after everybody's welfare here. But I didn't have a chance to show Roscoe earlier because we were live. But Roscoe, say hello. Yeah, there you go. Because he's not in his tail here. So we're going to go live now. We continue live here. I'm going to take a look at the facilities. So I'm turning the camera here. And here's Jenny and Maju again.
And this is one of our twin rooms here
Okay.
in the hostel. We are now on the 5th floor, which is our Konnevesi floor.
So central Finland.
Okay.
Floor.
Her hometown.
So that's your hometown, right?
Home village.
Yeah.
Home village, yeah.
Your home village, we call it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and so this is for 2 people, 2 separate beds, and with private bathroom, and pretty nice views.
Yeah. So here, look at this very comfortable beds here. They are twin beds, and here's one bed on that side. And considering Helsinki can be quite cool. Here's some extra heating elements here, and there's a heating elements here, so you don't need to put an extra blanket, so you feel nice and warm. And here we can just see, just looking at outside. We talked earlier about the. So here is basically the park. You can see from.
There is a football field right behind our hostel, and also what do you call this, a bow and arrow field? Yeah. So this archery, yeah, exactly. So those two sport fields are behind our hostel, but other than that, you can see the forest everywhere.
That's very nice. And let's take a look at. I'm curious about this one feature of this.
Oh yeah.
The lamp. Tell us.
Yeah, our bedside lamps. Yeah. Actually, all the lighting is from Innolux, and they provide Finnish design lighting. And this model is called Beagle, like the dog, and you can use it two ways. You can use it like that, as it is now. It gives this very nice, soft lighting, and you can also use it as a what is kirjamerkki?
Bookmark.
Yeah, bookmark. You can just put your book here and then fall asleep, and you won't lose your page. But also you can turn it like other way, and then you get more light, and you can just face it however you like.
And
so very handy.
Yeah, then let's take a look at this is the wallpaper here that is being used. I think these are so beautiful with the mushrooms and so on.
Yeah, it has the whole national park feeling to it, doesn't it? Like bears and mushrooms, and there's a tent somewhere, I think, like camping. Up there you can see one. Yeah, can you see that?
Can you see the tent? Yeah.
Yeah. And so this is very typical of central Finland. We have a lot of forests and a lot of beautiful nature in central Finland, and that's what we wanted to capture here in the Konnevesi floor too.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, we got Hakan. He's in Turkey. Hakan is watching us from Turkey.
Hi, Hakan.
Oh, you might be in Cyprus. I'm not sure where you are now, but welcome. We are now at the Myö Boutique Hostel here. Just a brief walkthrough of the rooms here. So these are wallpapers that were specifically designed for you, right?
Yes. Our customers keep asking, where can I find these wallpapers? They're so lovely. I want to have them on my own wall back home. And we always say that, I'm sorry, they're designed for us. You need to come here again.
Very good. So let's continue a walk.
Yeah.
I'll turn the camera again. So. I like this is a nice poster also.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It's one of those old school posters.
And if you look at the furniture here, these are where did you find this nice furniture?
Like we kept searching everywhere, and this one was actually the chair. It used to be in another hotel before us, so we got that from there. And then again, those small tables we found at a flea market in Vantaa, the neighboring city from Helsinki.
Okay.
And yeah, I think like each piece of furniture here has some kind of a story.
Very good.
Like some stories are of course more interesting than others, but we can remember each one.
And here's Roscoe.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll continue. Where would you like to go next?
Well, maybe let's go to the next room. Hey, Roscoe, mes boys.
Here you see some poster of this is typically like you find in school.
Yeah.
Old schools, you had all the different kind of mushrooms here.
Yeah, before you could Google each one of them. Yeah.
This is the analog Google.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's go to the next room here.
Okay, so here we have a double room.
You can just lead us there.
So also for two people, but with a double bed, and also private shower and private bathroom, toilet.
Very good. And then the artwork here is part of the. Is it the?
Yeah, actually, here's a funny story. You can see it says Tuulia in one of the frames here. This one here, Tuulia. And that's actually part of our crowdfunding campaign. This is one of the rooms that our backers got to name. So this room was named after Tuulia, and her fiancé bought her as a gift, as a surprise, this room, kind of. This is now Tuulia's room. It says here, do you know what it feels like to be so loved that you get a hostel room named after you? Because Tuulia does. And so, yeah, that's something that we did too with our crowdfunding campaign. And they actually, Tuulia visited here, and it was a surprise until the end, until she came into the hostel room and realized that, okay, so this is my room then.
Very good. And then we have here some other pictures.
Yeah.
Okay. And here's the wallpaper.
Yeah.
Very nice. So it's a very cozy. I mean, it really breaks the mold of what the people are used to as a hostel many times. When you look at this, if you just look at this comfortable bed, this is really I would call this a very luxury experience.
It really is. They're so comfy.
Yeah, very good. And anything else we should look at?
I don't know.
No?
What do you think? I think that might be it.
Okay.
Maybe for the rest of the floors, people need to come and see for themselves.
Yeah. So I think we will just, if Maya would like to come here, so I want to just say thank you very much again, Jenny and Maya, for taking the time. And this completes then the broadcast from today from Muir Hostel. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks.